Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. Well, I'm just wondering if the tariff war is over. I think we've all been watching back and forth with President Donald Trump raising the tariff and then taking it off all the other countries except China and then raising it up to 145% on China. And I know that everybody on this channel knows, but I believe there are some people who think that the tariff, which is nothing but a tax on imported goods that are coming into the country, that people think that China is paying the taxes on those goods. That is not true. That 145% tariff is a tax that companies like Walmart, Best Buy, whatever companies are carrying those products. The taxes are on the companies in America that sell those products. So if Best Buy is ordering a bunch of computers from China, then Best Buy has to pay that 145% tariff. And then the people who buy computers from Office Max or Best Buy or Walmart, we'll have to pay the difference because they're going to jack up the price of those computers or cell phones or TVs because we get a lot of electronics from China. So it sounds like Donald Trump is making a big move when he continues to raise the tariff on products coming into America. But that's not true. He's raising the taxes on the American companies and the American consumers, the American people who buy those products. So I just think that there was some misunderstanding. I'm not really sure he knew what he was doing because it sounded like he was being the big bad wolf. I'm going to raise the tariff to 145%. And China says, well, okay, I'm going to raise yours to 125%. But what that meant was that the the products that we sell to China, the companies in China that buy those products would have to pay that 125%, which means that they're not even paying as much taxes as we're paying. And on top of that, America imports a lot more products from China than China imports from us. So we buy more stuff from them than they buy from us. So we're the ones that are going to be stuck with the bill, not China. So anyway, and he was saying something like, well, that's going to bring manufacturing back to the United States. We're going to put this high tariff on China. And then the companies that have outsourced all of these jobs to China will come back to the United States. Well, the question is, why did they leave in the first place? Because they can produce those products much cheaper in China and Malaysia and other developing countries, as they call them, instead of third world countries. To me, it just seemed like a game of chicken. Donald Trump was trying to throw his weight around like he always does. But this time, I don't think he knew what he was doing because now he has already announced that he was exempting the electronics from the tariff because this is what we use. We get cell phones from China, we get TVs from China, we get computers and all other kinds of electronics from China. So if he's going to put 145% tariff on those things, that means that American companies will have to pay that heavy taxes, and then we'll have to pay more for those products. So he rolled back the electronics and other things. Let me see, this is what it said. Big tech has gained a major exemption from Donald Trump's trade war after the U.S. president exempted smartphones, computers, and other electronics from the 125% levies imposed on imports from China, as well as tariffs imposed on other countries. Experts had previously warned tariffs would cause electronic consumer prices to spike in the United States, with Apple reportedly chartering cargo flights to bring in 600 tons of iPhones from India rather than China amid the cratering trade ties between the two countries. So, see, they're having to scramble trying to find another manufacturer of those cell phones and those other electronic products that we love in the United States. So that was never going to work because America is not in a position to be pulling these big moves on these countries now. America is not the only sheriff in town anymore. China is the second biggest economy in the world, and they are a young population. We might be number one, but we are an aging population, and Americans are not being given the skills and the education that they need to keep up. Now, that's what President Obama tried to say when he was the president. He wanted to do more of the he wanted to do more technology, and he wanted to do high speed trains and things, but the Congress wouldn't work with him. So the world is moving on as America continues to try to hold certain people back and elevate a group of people who are basically, who most of them are just mediocre, just like everybody else. So that's what happens in a country when everybody is not allowed to thrive. So America cannot remain a superpower and control the global market with an uneducated population. And increasingly, that is what we are. Won't let these people go to that school because they manufacture some reason why you can't go, and they're going to let legacies, people who can't even do the work, get to go to a top school because their granddaddy went there or because somebody donated a lot of money. That is not a way to run a country if you want the country to sustain itself. So this empire cannot thrive when you're holding over half the people in the country back. Listen to what this well informed TikToker has to say about the tariff war.
Here's Joe from Georgia. So, update on tariffs, or better to be known as what tariffs. Tomorrow, the Trump administration is withdrawing the tariffs that they were putting on all the countries in the world to include China. They're going to leave some on China. But the majority of the things that they are letting be exempt from the tariffs coming from China, basically electronics and cell phones and anything to do with chip manufacturing, those type of things. They're not doing that. Well, that's the majority of what American consumers buy from China. So the things that are going to, the tariffs that were going to come in that were going to eliminate your income taxes, remember? It's going to eliminate the income tax. Well, those tariffs are gone. As a matter of fact, there's going to be refunds to tariffs already paid because it's being retroactive to April the 5th. So anybody that's bought anything since then, they're entitled to a refund. So how's this tariff game going for everybody? You know, the chess game, I think we just got checkmated.
I continue to say that the people in this administration don't know what they're doing, that the people in this Trump administration don't know what they're doing. And they're making America look bad because you're going out there selling wolf tickets and then you can't follow through. So you end up really looking bad. And the country ends up looking bad. And the people who think that Donald Trump can throw his weight around and make people all over the world do what he wants them to do are delusional. This is a new world, and really, we're in the new world order now. And that means that one country is not going to run the global show anymore. So everybody's going to have a little bit of buy in, including Africa. Including Africa. Okay, y'all. So let me know what you think about this. Are you saying that this tariff war is over? Or do you think Donald Trump is going to continue to sell wolf tickets? Thank you for listening. Give me a thumbs up and have a great evening.